Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I think you've done this before, but I like to remind people, so I think you kind of know how it works. This is not exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So if something doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say, even if we don't realize it at the time. So, we're going to talk to your brother today. Okay, he's already yapping. Hang on. Sorry, my eyes are bothering me today for some reason, like itchy. He keeps saying something like gunner, gunner, bo gunner, banana, banana, nana, nana, goat nana, be my momana. Then he goes, gunner, yeah, fooled you. You thought it was going to rhyme with nanner. What was that song way back? Kids, it was an annoying freaking song. And you're probably, I have no idea how old you are, because I don't creep anybody's Facebook page ahead of time. That just messes up the reading. So anyway, that's something you probably back when I was younger. So I don't know if you had a song like that when you were kids or maybe you did something like that, or if he's just being silly. Because he says, "Huh, fooled you. You thought it was going to rhyme better." He's taking very, very slow, deliberate steps. Like even picking his feet up, and he's not stomping them on the floor. It's almost like he's walking in slow motion, but he's kind of picking his feet up. Why are we doing this, Gunner? Now he's picking his knees up even higher when he walks, almost like marching in a band. And back in my day when we marched in a band, it was kind of like Hitler parade, like the knees would kind of have to come way up as we were marching. I played trombone. But he's doing it real slow and very deliberate. He's not explaining why, but there's always a reason for it. Did he play an instrument in a band? He's okay. I don't know for sure that he's talking about there or here. He felt like he was moving in very slow motion, taking very deliberate steps to do something or try to do something. Which way, buddy? But it was almost like he felt like his feet were stuck in mud. Like, like if you walk through the really deep mud and it sucks you, you got to really lift your legs up and make a big effort to get them out of the mud. That's what he's doing now. But he said he's moving very slow up there too. There is no time. There are no calendars. There are no clocks with hours on it up there. There is no time. So a year down here can be up there. It can be just an instant. But I'm trying to figure out if that's what he's talking about for sure. He says he says he felt like his feet were stuck in mud down here, but he feels like he's moving very slowly up there. So whatever his healing is, usually when we get there, the first thing to do is start cleansing us. There is no judgment. There is no hate. All it is total love and acceptance and cleansing. So they cleanse us. They peel all that heavy crap that we do down here off of us. They peel us like an onion, I say. That's the way I can describe it. It's like they peel layers of the crap that we, like the negative emotions that stick to us like a magnet. Peel those off, because the whole object is to get to the high vibration, nothing but love vibration, to raise the vibration, and you have to peel off that heavy stuff. It's like carrying a big old rock. So he's making a big point of it, and usually it happens like almost instantaneous, but I think there's some things that hang on once in a while to some of them, and he's still moving very slowly, deliberately through it, because there's some big lesson he needs to learn that he didn't learn here. We still have to learn lessons up there. It's like we're still going to school up there. Down here, he says he felt like he wasn't learning it at all, that his feet were just so stuck, and he was so tired by the time he would pull them out of the mud and try to take a step forward that he was just plain freaking wore out and just pretty much said, fuck it. I'm tired, I want some relief. And then he's looking like this, like he doesn't know which way to look to get that relief. Not now, then, when he was here. So he felt like he couldn't get any forward momentum, that he was stuck. And I think he passed at a fairly young age, so that has a whole lot to do with just being that age. You kind of go through that. Don't know which way you're really supposed to go. Don't know how to get to where you want to go. He said people expected a lot out of him, not necessarily he says, well, a little bit at the moment when he was here, but more like the future. People expected a lot of him to move towards the future, and he says, I couldn't figure it out. I didn't give it enough time to figure it out. I would rather escape and go have fun. Didn't need to worry about it. Boy, was I wrong. And I have a friend. Then he stopped. You know, he was trying to tell me earlier when I was doing some stuff. I mentioned on MEDIUMS that there was a friend he wanted to get a message to. Somebody that's going down the same path he was going down. Somebody they suspect him of doing something. Maybe drugs or alcohol or something like that. But they don't know how deeply involved he is in it. He says, and he's a good kid. He's really a good kid. He's shown me somebody that looks, I don't know if he's necessarily, the person is shorter than Gunner or just younger than Gunner. I don't know if he's making him look shorter because he wants me to know he's not older than Gunner, he's younger, or if he's actually physically shorter. With darker hair. Seems to be fairly shy. But his shyness is causing him to, it's not the shyness causing it. I don't think I feel like it's that way. It's more like, yeah, it is kind of being like an introvert a little bit. He may not be totally an introvert, but he's got a lot of shit inside. And it's causing him to dabble in things he shouldn't. And Gunner's standing there with his arm around his shoulder, and the boy has his head down. So whether that's something that happened while he was here, I'm not sure yet. Or if that's happening now. And this boy is he or isn't he, Tony? He could have done that while he was here, but he is now. Standing there like that. I think the boy, usually when they get to be about 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old, all little kids can see spirit. Animals and little kids. Because nobody's told them can't have an imaginary friend. Nobody's told them it's not real. So all little kids at some point can see an imaginary friend or hear them or talk to them or play with them or whatever. Until we get to be about 9 or 10. This kid looks older than that. So he's not sure whether he wants to respond to Gunner, I think. I think he can barely hear him. He's not exactly totally shutting him out, but he's not exactly listening to him either. But kind of like in the real world, we're not going to listen to our parents or our whatever, We kind of shut him out. And that's kind of the way he's showing it. He's half-assed listening to Gunner. He half-assed knows he's there. He half-assed admits he's there. And Gunner says he's keeping a close eye on him. I don't know if this is a friend or a family member. The boy seems sad, more like it does not even depressed. I wouldn't even call it depressed, just maybe a little sad. Or maybe he knew Gunner well enough that he's still sad from him leaving and trying to figure that out. So Gunner's making a big point of this. He's shown a boy with straight, not real short hair, but straight, very straight. He says, I love you. He says, you know I'm around. You do know. You feel him move around you. You feel him like walk back and forth behind you. If you haven't seen him, you're going to. He's going to be standing right in front of you. He might do it across the room, but right now he's showing that he's going to be standing right in front of you, like maybe you doze off on the couch or something along that line, and you open your eyes, and for the very first second you open your eyes, you go, he's standing right there. But then when you look, he's not. So I can see them head on, but they still do it to me. A lot of people, you'll see them in your peripheral vision. And then you turn your head because you think, oh, I see somebody walking down my hall, and you turn your head to look and you don't see them when you look head on at them. If you can keep from turning your head and looking, that'd be great. I can't. I still turn and look because I expect to see him because I see him all the time. But he's showing, and I include this as peripheral vision if I'm typing on my computer and one of them walks through my dining room. That's still in my peripheral vision, and I look up and I can't see him. Don't know why it works that way. But he's showing. So he's showing you with your head down, like you're sitting on the couch or something, and you doze off, and you pop your head up. And the first two blinks of your eyes, you go, he's standing right there. And then you look, and poof, he's gone. Know that that's real. He loves you very much. He says you do sense him a lot. Trust that little chill, that little goosebump, that little change in the air pressure. He says sometimes you feel it like a little wisp of breeze, like goes by you. Just like if you would do this, that little wisp, just a little one, not a whole wind blowing at you. something he says memoir. Oh, good grief, I can't spell the name. Memoir. Are you writing a book? Are you writing a diary? Are you writing just a book of your thoughts, which is awesome if you journal. Are you writing your life story? Are you writing him letters? Something along that line that you're writing. If you're not doing it, he says you need to. So, and he'll be standing over your shoulder as you do it, but he's showing you actually writing with a pen instead of just typing. I don't write anything anymore. People can't read it anyway. No, he's pointing at my shirt. Perfect is boring. Oh, wait a minute. Perfect is boring. Be imperfectly you. Perfect is boring. Be imperfectly you. Don't be like everybody else. Imperfect is you. Nobody's supposed to be perfect. So just accept that. Nobody's perfect. I said, Lord knows I wasn't. And it's okay. It's definitely okay. Okay, he's mentioning something about stop signs. An actual stop sign on the street. Watch out for the stop signs. So I don't know if this is some kind of warning or if he's validating something that just recently happened, like did somebody run a stop sign? Did somebody pull out in front of you? Did you stop at a stop sign and go, and then somebody almost hit you? It's not like it doesn't feel like it's like this huge warning that something terrible's going to happen. So he's either validating something you just did, or he wants you to be more careful and stop and look both ways at the stop sign. He says, even if you're walking. So just keep that in mind. Just be a little more alert. And he's saying stop sign could be a stoplight, but he's showing stop sign. We have so many in our town now, they just keep putting four-way stops at every one of our corners because they think we're not smart enough to know how to walk across the street without getting hit. So maybe it was something like that. He's saying something about validate. Validate. Trying to validate. You just keep saying the word. He grabs my shirt. He goes, again, he's back to my shirt. He goes, and he grabs it right here on the imperfectly. And he says, you're beautiful even though you're imperfect. But you're supposed to be imperfect. That's how you learn lessons. Mistakes are a part of life. I wish I had realized that more. I love you. I want you to be happier. Something about you hearing him. Have you heard him talk to you? Or thought you heard him talk to you? Something about hearing him. But it's the way he's... Sorry, when they get too close, they make my head itch. It's like you think you hear him, but you're not really hearing the words. You think you hear him. So you're poo-pooing it. You're going, yeah, no. So if you think you hear him, even if you hear it up here with your telepathic ears, if you think you hear him, instead of going, I'm just crazy just because I want to, tell him, I can't quite understand the words. Maybe it'll be a buzzing in your ear because he doesn't act like he's that close when he's doing it. It's just like he goes, hey, or says your name or something more like a little bit further away from your body. Doesn't have to be. That's just the way he's showing it. And tell him, I can't quite understand you, or I can't quite hear you. You're speaking too soft. Or sometimes I think they like they'll get on the wrong energy level, they'll get on the wrong pitch, and it's like they think I should be able to understand them, and I go, I can't understand what you're saying. We have to get on the same level. Even my guides, angels, archangels, yes, they will talk to you. They do exist. A higher form of energy than us. And if my ears start screeching, I go, I can't understand what you're saying. You have to lower your vibration, or you have to raise your vibration, whatever it is. You've got to come down to my level so I can understand what you're saying. So when you think you hear him, or you think he might be wanting to talk to you, tell him, I don't understand your words. We're not on the right frequency. It's just like tuning a radio dial. And I go, I always mutter. It's like tuning a radio dial, kind of. Something about somebody out pushing a lawnmower. I don't know if that was one of his jobs. And I don't feel like he's trying to validate himself. He's just showing me somebody out in the yard pushing a lawnmower. Like maybe that's something he did. That's not a very good validation if that's what it is. It's making me feel like I need a rock. I need a rock. I need a rock. Okay, he's showing me that he used to like sit on the side of the bed, put his head in his hands and rock. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What I do wrong? What do I do? He says the girls did like me. And I didn't really care. So I'm still wanting to rock. Not like, I don't know if I want to say woe is me type of thing. Just like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I just can't quite. There's something that was always troubling him. Something that just maybe didn't even show on the outside. And it may not have been something like deep, dark, big, big monster in him. But that's part of being a teenager. Things are hard to figure out till you get through that stage. Well, now he's back to somebody mowing the yard. Maybe you just looked out your window and saw somebody pushing a mower. It's not a rider mower, it's a push mower. It doesn't have to be. I know that gets a little vague, but that's just the way it works. He says, how are you doing? No, I'm getting, and then all of a sudden I got really, really lightheaded, like really, like, whoa, like I'm going to faint, like really light. Not light like, no, my energy's great. Woozy. He says, no, how are you really doing? How are you really, really, really doing? Really, come on. How are you doing? How are you doing? He just keeps saying that. It's not like he knows something. It's like he's asking you, but he's wanting you to tell him. Why? I don't know. And I promise you 1,000% he can hear you, he can see you. Talk to him all you want to. He says, you can call me a dumbass. It's okay. Thought I was invincible. Now, wow. Now he's now he's showing like trudging down a sidewalk. Again, he's trudging, but there's like big ass snowbanks. And he's often kind of in a distance. You know, these aren't always exact, but I like to try to describe them as because sometimes they are exact. And it's like there's a big high snowbank or a big snow-covered fence or something that's kind of blocking his view. Like it's like you're looking out the window of the house and you see like this much of a person walking up the sidewalk, trudging along in the snow. It's all snow covered, so you can't see the rest of him. And you think it's him, or it looks like him, or something. So if this hasn't happened, watch for this to happen. And it won't work if you sit there and stare out the window when there's a lot of snow and go, okay, come on, show up. It doesn't work that way. You have to kind of be, it's usually unexpected. It's just the way our mind works and lets that information through. You have to be kind of like not dwelling on it or staring at it, or you know, like angel numbers. Like people look up angel numbers, 111. Well, the clock says 111. But if you sit there and stare at the clock at 110 and wait for it to turn 111 and go, oh, I got an angel number. No, you didn't. But if you happen to look at the clock and go, oh, it's 111 or 777 or whatever, well, a clock's not going to have that, but not unless it's really messed up. But he hangs pretty close to you. And he leans down over you and he says, now get busy. I feel like it's something about that writing he was talking about. He's telling you it's time to get busy, get it done, do it, get busy. It won't write itself. But maybe keep it a secret for now. Or maybe not a secret, but maybe not everybody needs to know exactly what it is or what's in it. Maybe it's something just for you. Maybe it is a journal that he's talking about, and it's just your thoughts and just for you, at least for now. He's mentioning an airplane, showing me a picture of an airplane. So I don't know if you've been on one, want to get on one and go take a trip, need to get on one. I love you and I keep my eye on you. I'm sorry I was a dummy. I'm sorry I did this to you. So I would like to help you. With that, he's going to leave. He's kind of bending his head down, but blowing you kisses. And then he gives a great, I can't do it with my hand. I'll do it this way. Then he does one of these great big ones, blowing you a kiss. You might even hear the little, you know, when you kiss the hand and blow it. He's tickling your ears. He's tickling the end of your nose. I don't feel like he does a lot of stuff and a lot of noises around you. He's just, you know, you feel his presence. You feel the difference that there's it's like you feel somebody watching you, but you can't see him. Well, which is exactly what's going on. But, you know, when you know somebody's in the room, you sense him. So talk to him. Talk to him when you sense him. And you can tell him he's a dumbass, and you can tell him you love him, and he hears you. Okay, my dear, with that, he's leaving. Much love to you. Sorry, I've been camping a lot. When I go, I stay 4, 5, 6 days. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate this, even though I'm in my camper now. It's my she shed, but it's home. But my husband's busy. Trying to figure out how to incorporate this into camping or sitting by the lake and doing it or something. So, it took me a couple days. Had to put it off for a couple days. Sorry. But you're still next in line. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.